Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to LMU. We gathered today for the inauguration of Thomas Poon as the 17th president of Loyola Marymount University. As a part of the university's recognition of our history, location, and commitment to honoring the indigenous communities in Los Angeles, we acknowledge the Tongva peoples as the traditional land caretakers of the Los Angeles Basin and the southern Channel Islands, and the presence of LMU on this traditional and ancestral land. We're grateful to have the opportunity to live, learn, study, and create at LMU. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise, if you're able, for the posting of the colors by the LMU Air Force Reserve Officer Training Corps, Detachment 040. Please be seated for the inaugurational procession with the LMU Inauguration Choir and Orchestra, directed by John Flattery, performing Gabriel's Oboe Suite. Please welcome LMU Faculty Senate President Brendan Smith, Associate Professor of Mechanical Engineering, carrying the university mace as he leads the procession. We are pleased to welcome delegates from colleges and universities across the United States and Canada, processing in the order of their institutions' founding dates. While representatives from the oldest institutions, Harvard and Yale, are with us today, they are processing with the President's Cabinet. The delegate procession therefore begins with the University of Pennsylvania. Princeton University, the University of Georgia, the University of Pittsburgh, Georgetown University, the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, the University of Michigan, Amherst College, University of Toronto, Spring Hill College, New York University, Emory University, Fordham University, the University of Notre Dame, the College of the Holy Cross, Temple University, Northwestern University, Santa Clara University, the University of the Pacific, Antioch University, Los Angeles, Tufts University, University of San Francisco, Chapman University, Boston College, Cornell University, University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, University of California, Berkeley, Notre Dame de Namur University, Boston University, University of Nebraska, Lincoln, Loyola University, Chicago, Syracuse University, St. Peter's University, Johns Hopkins University, Regis University, University of Detroit Mercy, Creighton University, Marquette University, Stanford University, Gonzaga University, Pomona College, Whittier College, the University of Scranton, University of Puget Sound, Seattle University, University of Laverne, Northern Illinois University, San Francisco State University, Texas Women's University, University of Portland, Loyola University, New Orleans, California College of the Arts, Santa Ana College, Otis College of Art and Design, University of California, Los Angeles, Claremont Graduate University, Mount St. Mary's University, California, Los Angeles Trade Tech College, Scripps College, Glendale Community College, California, Los Angeles City College, Pepperdine University, California State Polytechnic University, Pomona, Fairfield University, University of California, Santa Barbara, Claremont McKenna College, Lemoyne College, California State University, Los Angeles, California State University, Long Beach, the University of San Diego, Harvey Mudd College, California State University, Northridge, California State University, San Bernardino, California Institute of the Arts, Pitzer College, Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science, San Diego Christian College, Keck Graduate Institute, Institute for Advanced Catholic Studies at USC, Academy for Jewish Religion, California, Kaiser Permanente Bernard J. Tyson School of Medicine. Now please welcome the delegates from the Learned Societies and distinguished guests. Delegates from the Los Angeles Consular Corps, the Consulate General of Honduras, Consulate General of Ireland, Consulate General of Kenya, Consulate General of the Republic of Poland, Consulate General of Switzerland. Please welcome the LMU student leaders. Starting with the oldest college at Loyola Marymount University, established in 1917, the faculty of the LMU Bellarmine College of Liberal Arts. Established in 1920, the faculty of the LMU Loyola Law School. Founded in 1926 and celebrating its 100th faculty of the LMU College of Administration. Founded in 1939, the faculty of the LMU Frank R. Seaver College of Science. Established in 1973, the faculty of the LMU College of Communication and Fine Arts. Founded in 1993, the faculty of the LMU School of Education. Loyola Marymount University's youngest school, established in 2001. The faculty of the LMU School of Film and Television. Members of the LMU Senior Administration. The LMU Academic Deans. Brian Keith Alexander of the LMU College of Communication and Fine Arts. Christine Brancolini, LMU William H. Hannon Library. Tina Cho, LMU Frank R. Seaver College of Science and Engineering. Brietta Clark, the Fritz B. Burns Dean at the LMU Loyola Law School. Richard Fox, the LMU Bellarmine College of Liberal Arts. Joanne Moore, LMU School of Film and Television. Dale Smith, LMU College of Business Administration. Estella Zarate, the LMU School of Education and Graduate Studies. Now please welcome the LMU Board of Regents. please welcome the LMU Board of Trustees. Ladies and gentlemen, the LMU President's Cabinet. Kawana Leggett, the Senior Vice President for Student Affairs. Loretta Martinez, the Senior Vice President, General Counsel. John Parrish, the Chief of Staff and Vice President for Institutional Strategy. Craig Pittens, Athletics Director. Amy Wynn, the Senior Vice President and Chief Financial Officer. Maureen Wetherall, the Vice Provost for Enrollment Management. Elizabeth Drummond, the Director of the Marymount Institute for Faith, Culture, and the Arts, and Associate Professor of History. This is the President's Party. The Honorable Anthony Coelho, the former Majority Whip of the United States House of Representatives and founder of the Coelho Center for Disability Law, Policy and Innovation. The Honorable Lena Gonzalez, the Majority Leader of the California State Senate from the 33rd District. The Reverend Michael Eng, Society of Jesus, Loyola Marymount University's Chancellor. The Reverend Edward Siebert of the Society of Jesus, the LMU Trustee Secretary and Rector, and the Rector of the LMU Jesuit Community. The Reverend Robert Niehoff of the Society of Jesus, the Provincial Assistant for Higher Education of the Western Province of the Society of Jesus. The Reverend Sean Carroll of the Society of Jesus, Provincial of the Western Province of the Society of Jesus. Sister Mary Janino, Trustee and Western American Area Leader of the Religious of the Sacred Heart of Mary. Sister Mary Beth Ingram, Trustee and General Superior of the Congregation of St. Joseph of Orange. John S. Corral, the Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer and the Chair of the Presidential Inauguration Committee. Kathleen Weaver, the Interim Executive Vice President and Provost and Professor of Biology. The Reverend Robert B. Lawton of the Society of Jesus, the 14th President of LMU. David W. Burcham, the 15th President of LMU, and Christine Burcham. Timothy Law Snyder, the 16th President of LMU, and Carol A. Costello, the former Special Advisor and University Ambassador. Kathleen Hannon Aikenhead, the former Chair of the LMU Board of Trustees and LMU Trustee Emeritus. Michelle X. Dean, Chair-elect of the LMU Board of Trustees. President Thomas Poon, and first spouse, Special Advisor and University Ambassador T. Catherine Irwin. Paul S. Viviano, the Chair of the LMU Board of Trustees. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise if you are able and remove your hats for the singing of the national anthem. It's going to be led by the Loyola Marymount University Consort Singers under the direction of Dr. Ben Johns, the Director of Choral Activities.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets crackling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you to the Loyola Marymount University Consort Singers. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the chair of the Loyola Marymount University Board of Trustees, Paul S. Viviano.
Good afternoon and welcome to Loyola Marymount University. On behalf of the LMU Board of Trustees, I honor your presence at this historic inauguration of our 17th president, Dr. Thomas Poon. We are especially grateful to be joined today by delegates from Jesuit sibling institutions and from universities across Los Angeles and the nation, by civic, community, and faith leaders, by alumni, parents, benefactors, and neighbors, and at the heart of this celebration, by our students, faculty, and staff. Your presence makes this a true gathering of the LMU Lion family. In these past weeks, our community has actively engaged in a series of inauguration events. We began with the Business and Education Innovation Summit we co-hosted with the LA Area Chamber of Commerce, and an academic symposium on AI, Discernment Made Here, inviting our faculty scholars to reflect on the future of learning, technology, and justice. We served alongside our partners at the Mar Vista Family Center during our day of service, embodying LMU's commitment to accompaniment in the neighborhoods of Los Angeles. We gathered with students for our joyful Christmas tree lighting, and we filled our campuses with dialogue, art, music, and conversations that reveal the intellectual rigor, creativity, and conscience of our university. And this very day, we joined together in a special missioning mass in Sacred Heart Chapel with Archbishop Gomez and a shared community lunch on Alumni Mall, renewing our commitment to walk forward together. Taken together, these moments tell the story of who we are. From this bluff above the City of Angels, LMU has for more than a century formed students for and with others who are intellectually courageous, spiritually grounded, and committed to a faith that does justice. Rooted in our Catholic mission in the Jesuit and Marymount traditions, we believe that education is not only about what our students know, but who they become and how they use their gifts in the service of a world that hungers for justice, mercy, and hope. Today's inauguration installation is the culmination of this season and the beginning of a new chapter in that story. By installing President Poon, we honor those who built this university. We celebrate all who sustain it now, and we look ahead to the countless lives that will be transformed in the years to come. At LMU, Hope is not something we wait for. It is something we cultivate, commit to, and create in our classrooms, in our city, and in our world. That is the promise of this day. Hope made here.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as Dr. Elizabeth Drummond, the director of the Marymount Institute for Faith, Culture, and the Arts, and associate professor of history, delivers our invocation.
Microphone. Gracious and merciful God, God of our many understandings, we gather before you full of hope to celebrate the inauguration of Loyola Marymount University's 17th president, Thomas Poon. As we come together as a community, united in our mission of educating young people to lead lives of meaning and purpose, we ask that you bless us with the fierce commitment to justice that characterizes the religious of the Sacred Heart of Mary, who have devoted themselves to empowering the marginalized and discarded. With the compassion of the Sisters of St. Joseph of Orange, who work so tirelessly to heal the wounds of our neighbors, our society, and our earth. With the courage of the early Jesuits, who set forth from Europe to carry their faith around the world, and also to learn from the cultures they encountered. With the wonder, curiosity, and creativity that underpin our common love of knowledge and our commitments to academic freedom and the open exchange of ideas. With the willingness to sit with ambiguity and uncertainty, to persevere through challenges, and to grapple seriously with questions about the human condition, the natural world, the meaning of justice, notions of the common good, and the nature of faith that characterize the Catholic intellectual tradition and our Marymount and Jesuit educational traditions. With the strength to stand firm in who we are, what we do, and what we value, even against political, social, and cultural headwinds. Academic excellence, the formation and intellectual and ethical formation of students, a recognition of our common humanity, even as we embrace our differences as enriching, a commitment to serving the common good and creating a more just world, an expansive and inclusive love of our communities. And bless us with hope, but with the recognition that hope is not merely a feeling, but a rigorous practice that calls on us to constantly cultivate the wisdom, virtues, and fortitude necessary to become contemplatives in action, to live and work in solidarity with others, and to meet the urgent needs of our time. We ask all these things confident that you hear our prayers. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated as the chair of the Inauguration Committee, the Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer, John Coralla, shares a reflection on today's inauguration theme, Hope Made Here.
Joy, tragedy, perseverance, wonder, all right here, and at every turn, hope made here. Our story began 5 centuries ago with St. Ignatius of Loyola, whose vision sparked a global movement. That same spirit later animated the Catholic pioneers who founded St. Vincent's College 160 years ago. This is where we trace our roots, to Southern California's first institution of higher education at the Lugo family's adobe at the end of Olvera Street on Los Angeles Plaza. From that point on, LA was in LMU's DNA, and LMU's DNA was in LA. Today, LMU is the largest Catholic university on the West Coast. Hope made here. From the start, we were shaped by partnerships. When the Jesuits established Los Angeles College in 1911, they mobilized professors, students, families, and religious and civic leaders to build something bold. In the mid-1920s, developer Harry Culver offered the Jesuits 100 acres on these Delray Hills on one condition: build 2 major buildings in 2 years. Ground broke just steps from this arena, And despite the looming Great Depression, the Jesuits and their students raised St. Robert's and Xavier Hall just in time. They met the challenge and secured this hilltop home for generations to come. That's hope made here. Across Los Angeles, the Religious of the Sacred Heart of Mary were already educating women, beginning in 1923 and opening Marymount Junior College in 1933. When Marymount later came to this campus, and the Sisters of St. Joseph of Orange had already joined them as partners, so the LMU story from the start was a shared story. That's hope made here. When we built Sacred Heart Chapel in the 1950s, our jewel on the skyline, and as legend tells us, a radar headache for Howard Hughes, who was working on the Spruce Goose below and demanded the tower be taken down, it is poetic justice that LMU would later acquire the global headquarters of his aviation empire, what we now call University Hall. Sometimes faith meets flight, and faith wins. Hope made here. And in 1973, Marymount College and Loyola University completed their merger, forming an enduring partnership that united three traditions of academic excellence into one shared mission of faith and service. Hope made here. For the trivia lovers, this court is where on January 5th, 1991, LMU defeated U.S. International University 186 to 140, the highest scoring game in NC2A Division I men's basketball history. That record still stands. But just the year before, this same floor witnessed one of the most heartbreaking moments in college sports. Tragedy struck on March 4th, 1990. Hank Gathers collapsed during a home game here, and passed away shortly after. Friends, please join me in a moment of silence as we honor Hank and this arena we call Hank's house. In the grief that followed, Coach Paul Westhead, the storied former head coach of the world champion Showtime LA Lakers, guided the Lions on an unforgettable run to the Elite Eight. During that tournament, Bo Kimball shot his first free throw left-handed in tribute to Hank and made it. ESPN later ranked that moment among the greatest in sports history. Hope made here. For music lovers, the artists bold enough to believe their sound might change the world found their first lift on LMU's KXLU 88.9, where our students give air to those without a voice. Ask Flea, who credits KXLU as the first station to broadcast the Red Hot Chili Peppers, the spark that ignited a movement. Or consider the premiere of Nirvana's Smells Like Teen Spirit, a moment that helped unleash the sound of a generation. From these bluff tops, the parade of discovery began, hope made here. Since 2011, our law school's Loyola Project for the Innocent has secured the freedom of 22 wrongfully convicted clients. Think about that for a moment. Hope made here. U.S. presidents and world leaders have gathered right here with their aspirations for a better world. In this building, we hosted George H.W. Bush in 1988. Bill Clinton inspired us on this campus in 2016. And 3 years later, Joe Biden and the 7 leading candidates took this floor in 2019 for the presidential debate, grappling with the issues of the day alongside our students. Our voices, our university, our democracy, hope made here. In this arena, LMU inaugurated Father Robert B. Lawton in 1999, David W. Burcham in 2011, and Timothy Law Snyder in 2015. With our community gathered as you are now, each advanced LMU's legacy of values-driven leadership and purpose-anchored education. They too embodied hope made here. So as the descendants of these stories, these achievements, these moments, we gather again. Look around you. Every beam, every banner in this hall carries forward the spirit that began 500 years ago with St. Ignatius of Loyola in Spain and more than 160 years ago in Los Angeles. This is where history was shaped. This is where change begins. Let us continue this journey together. This is LMU, hope made here.
That light, beautiful, isn't it? And this tree? Not bad, huh? Yeah, this campus is pretty special. But we didn't always look like this, or even this. To truly understand a place, you've got to know its story. You have to trace its roots. So let's start back at the beginning. Well, okay, not that far back. We trace our roots to 1865, when St. Vincent's College, Southern California's first institution of higher learning, opened in downtown LA. Then, in 1911, the Jesuits stepped in, bringing their faculty, welcoming St. Vincent students, opening Los Angeles College. That's the moment the university we know today truly took shape. Since breaking ground in Westchester over 100 years ago, LMU's campus has looked over the city of Los Angeles from way up here. But our heart and soul has always been right in the center of it. A history of LMU is a history of LA. We've watched this city rise, stumble, change, and rise again. And we've always risen with it, while staying grounded in our mission. In the 1920s, LA was on the precipice of exploding with growth, a mix of oil, movies, cars, and ambition. It was the perfect place for a new kind of university to take root. When our law school opened in 1920, we made legal education accessible to everyone, working students, men and women, dreamers, and trailblazers. We were the first law school in LA to admit students of all faiths. Then, during World War II, students, alumni, and Jesuits alike dedicated themselves to God and country as volunteers, soldiers, and chaplains. The Frontline Lions, Father Lorenzo Malone's global chaplaincy program, brought news from the war, offering prayers and hopes for those at home. As the country recovered after the war, Father Edward Whelan provided jobs and housing at Loyola to Japanese Americans recently released from incarceration camps as they rebuilt their lives. The mid-20th century brought big challenges, from war to civil rights. In 1950, Loyola's president and football team made a stand, walking off the field rather than playing without their black teammates. That same spirit of inclusion grew on campus when then-President Father Casasa hired the first Black and Asian American faculty before the neighborhood integrated. And after the Civil Rights Act of 1964, students united to push for change. In a show of support, Father Casasa founded the Ad Hoc Committee on Race Relations. He even partnered with the American Jewish Committee to offer training on interracial relations. And in that first group was Tom Bradley, who would later go on to become the mayor of Los Angeles. Alongside faculty and student expansion, a major and lasting change was in progress. Meanwhile, the Sisters of St. Joseph of Orange, under Mother Mary Felix Montgomery's leadership, were building St. Joseph's College into a force for forming teachers and faith-driven leaders. And over in Palos Verdes, the Religious of the Sacred Heart of Mary, guided by Mother Raymond McKay, had expanded from its Westwood roots, having spent decades leading women's higher education in LA. In 1968, the two women's institutions merged under the Marymount name, and soon after, Loyola University and Marymount College joined forces. 2 schools, 3 religious orders, and 1 bold experiment in shared teaching and leadership. And in 1973, the LMU of today was born. Hey, Sister Mary Beth, why was that significant?
When the Religious of the Sacred Heart of Mary and the Sisters of St. Joseph of Orange came to the Bluff, they brought not only coeducation, but a living dialogue with the mission of a Jesuit university, renewing LMU's heart, imagination with rigor, compassion with justice, and a shared life of faith, justice, and community.
Those early years after the merger brought momentum. Building on the legacies of both Loyola and Marymount, we expanded beyond what anyone thought was possible. We created a community of true belonging. And in those years, LMU's special games took root, an enduring joy in LMU's story. Our mission was so strong, we even hosted weightlifting in the 1984 Olympics.
Now, as Los Angeles continued to grow, so did LMU. We expanded our campuses, added new buildings, and even reimagined Loyola Law School with the famous architect Frank Gehry. In 2000, we honored the land's first people, the Gabrielino Tongva, with a permanent memorial that still stands today. In 2018, we opened our 3rd campus in Playa Vista, linking LMU to Silicon Beach, where studio, lab, and industry all come together. In 2024, LMU was recognized as both Hispanic serving and Asian American and Native American Pacific Islanders serving, a reflection of who we serve and how we serve. Which brings us to today. Under the leadership of Thomas Poon, LMU's 17th president, we enter a new chapter, a chapter rooted in our Jesuit and Marymount tradition, animated by a vision that is distinctly, unmistakably, LMU. What sets LMU apart is our people, how we show up for each other and for Los Angeles. Our alumni open doors across the city. Our students give over 250,000 hours of service each year, and our law school leads with purpose through its pro bono tradition. From student organizations that date back more than 100 years to local and global immersion, our students impact the community and the lives of all involved. Our alumni carry something special with them, something that was shaped right here. And, well, you've heard enough stats from me. Maybe we should hear from these people themselves. Because if you want to understand a university's purpose, you have to look at the people it sends into the world. So how about I hand it off to a few of them who've gone on to do some pretty incredible things.
What LMU gives you is something real, an education that keeps you grounded but pushes you forward. It's about thinking big, staying true to your values, and having the courage to make a difference in the world.
LMU is a vibrant community of change-makers, scholars, and leaders. A tightly knit village where people encourage each other to be their most authentic selves.
The professors aren't just teachers, they're mentors. They actually care. They challenge you to think deeper, ask questions, and find your own voice.
Some of the most transformative lessons at LMU aren't learned in the classroom. They happen out in the world.
Experiences abroad, volunteering, getting our hands dirty.
Those opportunities changed how we see things and who we are.
What began as a whisper in space-time became a beautiful symphony. LMU gave me the tools to hear it, to test bold ideas and light the way ahead.
And as rapid innovation reshapes society, LMU's edge is clear. Our mission centers humanity, guided by ethics, fueled by creativity, and rooted in community. We form values-driven leaders, ready to shape the future. And now, with President Thomas Poon leading the way, LMU is moving forward with purpose. He's challenging us to think more critically, shift our imagination into high gear, and stay rooted in what makes this place truly unique: faith in the power of education to transform lives. So, from those roots that we love so much, the ones that stretch back 500 years, to a city shaping the next century, LMU has never been content with the status quo. We exist to form people of conscience and creativity. People who see the world not as it is, but as it could be. And when there are tough times that tempt us toward despair, we choose something different here. We choose to build, to believe, to lead with love, to live with hope, to stay true to our roots, and to be a light in the world.
It is now my privilege to introduce a leader whose life's work reflects the very heart of this inauguration's theme: hope made here. The Honorable Tony Coelho, proud LMU alumnus of the class of 1964, has shaped the landscape of American life in ways few individuals ever do. A former six-term member of the United States Congress, Congressman Coelho authored the Americans with Disabilities Act, one of the most consequential civil rights laws in U.S. history, and a beacon of dignity, inclusion, and opportunity for millions of Americans. As a national advocate for disability rights, a steward of public service, and the founder of LMU's Coelho Center for Disability Law, Policy, and Innovation, he continues to champion a world where access, equality, and justice are not aspirational ideals, but lived realities. For generations of LMU alumni, Tony Coelho stands as a model of what it means to let one's education become a calling and to let one's calling transform the world. His life is a testament to the power of resilience, faith, and purpose. And in every way, he exemplifies the hope that is made here here on this bluff and carried into our global community. Please join me in welcoming a distinguished statesman, a groundbreaking advocate, and an alumnus who has forever changed our nation for the better, the Honorable Tony Coelho.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Good afternoon. It's very important to be here on this momentous occasion. I came to Loyola as a kid from Central Valley, California. Portuguese, Catholic, working on a dairy farm, full of big dreams, but with no clear path. LMU gave me one. It didn't just teach me facts, it taught me how to think, how to lead, and how to speak up, even when it feels like someone just wants you to be quiet. When I was here, I became student body president. That title wasn't the point. What matters was learning that leaders means service. That lesson stuck. And this place stood with me when I needed it most. I was diagnosed with epilepsy while I was a student. That led to many challenges, including me being denied entry into a Catholic seminary. Back then, that could have ended my future. But LMU didn't turn away. LMU embraced me and pushed me forward. In Congress, I fought to pass the Americans with Disabilities Act. I knew what discrimination felt like. I knew it had to end. We made that law happen together across party lines because dignity doesn't belong to one side or another in politics. After that, I kept at it, pushing for disability rights globally, helping create the federal government's Office of Disability Employment and Policy, and strengthening hiring requirements so people with disabilities get real chances at careers. I founded the Coelho Center for Disability Law, Policy, and Innovation right here at LMU because training the next generation of advocates is how ideas change. Hope made here isn't a motto or wishful thinking. It's a mission, it's policy, it's action. Hope is what you build in classrooms, in labs, on stages like this one, and out in the world when you decide somebody else's dignity matters. Hope is when standing by people when others won't. President Poon, you're taking up the mantle at this university that believes in that kind of hope and, most importantly, knows how to make it real. LMU has alumni all over this country and all over the world ready to help you continue doing exactly that. Hold fast to the mission. Tell the truth. Keep the doors open wider than you found it. And never forget, we're here for the students, especially the ones who think they don't belong until LMU shows them that they do. Congratulations, Tom, and let's go Lions.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Professor of Dance, Rosalind LeBlanc.
Ya no me cantes cigarra, que acabe tu sonsonete, que tu canto aquí en el alma como un puñal se me mete, sabiendo que cuando cantas, pregonando vas tu muerte. Marinero, marinero, dime si es verdad que sabes, porque distinguir no puedo, si en el fondo de los mares hay otro color más negro que el color de mis pesares. Ay, la la la. de mis pesares. Un palomito al volar que llevaba el pecho herido, ya casi para llorar, me dijo muy afligido, ya me cansó de buscar un amor correspondido. Bajo la sombra de un árbol y al compás de mi guitarra, canto alegre este guapango, porque la vida se acaba y quiero morir cantando como muere la cigarra. Ay, la la la.
Leadership isn't about having all the answers. It's about listening deeply and listening with intention, showing up again and again, even when the way forward is unclear. The best leaders turn uncertainty into resolve, through trust and through hope. Tom Poon leads this way, rooted in mission, driven by purpose, authentic in every room. The Poon family came to the United States from Hong Kong in 1969. Though Jack and Tina didn't benefit from a college education themselves, they carried hope, resilience, and a profound belief in the transformative power of education. They built a life in Waterbury, Connecticut, running a small Chinese restaurant and enrolling their sons in Catholic schools. Those pivotal choices and their devotion to their sons opened so many doors. Theirs was a daily working hope, focused on the future.
We weren't Catholic, but my parents saw something in Catholic schools that they hadn't experienced themselves. A system rooted in structure, values, and community. That early formation stayed with me, even before I understood what faith really meant. In those classrooms, I learned to listen for meaning and choose with care. Little did I know I was learning how to discern.
When I was applying to colleges, Tom pushed me to apply to tougher schools than I thought possible. I see this devotion to helping people improve themselves in everything he does.
My Catholic education prepared me, not just academically, but personally and spiritually. At every stage, from grammar school to middle school, from high school to college, I was immersed in academic rigor, a call to justice, the moral lens of the Gospels, and a sense of spiritual purpose.
Tom's formation didn't happen in isolation. It came from our shared immigrant working class roots, deeply shaped by education as a form of liberation.
That formation reached a new depth at Fairfield University, where Tom earned what he now calls his gateway degree in chemistry. His undergraduate education eventually led him to pursue a doctorate in organic chemistry at UCLA, which evolved into faculty roles and scientific collaborations around the world, from Puerto Rico to Osaka, from Würzburg to Columbia, Cornell, and Yale.
I was the first in my family to go to college. That gift from my parents set my compass. Everything I've done since then is because of that. In college, curiosity carried me farther than I ever imagined. Fairfield didn't just give me an education, it gave me a way of seeing the world as interconnected, rigorous, and rooted in purpose. As a chemist, I study patterns. As a teacher, I question them. Reading Primo Levi and St. Ignatius's words helped me see how multiple identities can live inside the same person. At LMU, those threads meet: mind, heart, and hands.
Tom pairs scientific rigor with a warmth and care that inspires students to lead, to innovate, and to practice hope.
And so many faculty have been inspired by his example.
He does more than solve problems, he reframes them. He turns complexity into creativity. He turns vision into action. He welcomes people exactly as they are, where they are, to understand one another more fully and to move forward with hope.
Tom leads from a place of discernment, not assumption. Formation for him is an ongoing process.
Ignatian formation is not just preparation, it's participation in grace. Tom gave himself to the spiritual exercises fully, mind, imagination, and heart. So the effects continue.
Tom leads with the heart of a servant and the mind of a scholar. His humility invites grace, and his attentiveness engenders respect and inspires hope. In Tom, we see the RSHM call to serve where the need is greatest. With a passion for what is good, right, and just, his choices reflect his commitment to enhancing life with dignity for all.
I love making things with my dad. It's more than just a father-daughter activity. We get to be collaborators making something tangible.
People see his leadership, but I see where it really comes from. Quiet perseverance, long hours, and that unwavering focus he somehow keeps, even when he's strumming his ukulele at midnight.
As a student, I saw how he treated science as both art and responsibility. He asked questions that opened up entire ways of thinking.
As students, we see President Poon as someone who shows up for us. Not someone who leads from a distance, but someone who actually listens. He asks us what we need, and after those conversations, you can genuinely feel a difference on campus.
Leadership is about being accountable to something bigger than yourself and being present to the people you serve.
Tom brings a rare kind of leadership to Catholic higher ed. Reflective, bold, and rooted in global understanding.
This university has shaped me through challenge, conversation, and care. The future of LMU isn't something we predict. It's something we shape together.
Tom aligns bold aspirations with the vision and focus to achieve them. In moments of complexity, he's calm, decisive, and unwavering in his commitment to what matters most: our students, our faculty, our community, and the greater good. With Tom at the helm, LMU's best days are ahead because we're building them right now.
Tom's leadership builds connection and purpose. He calls us to rise not just as a university, but as a force for good in LA and beyond. For Tom, collaboration is about more than consensus. It's a shared conviction to serve and uplift. That's LMU at its best.
At a time when higher education needs courage and compassion, LMU has a leader formed by both. Tom Poon doesn't just live the mission, he propels it forward, inspiring a new era of possibility and impact for LMU, shaped not by certainty, but by care. And in that care, hope doesn't merely endure, it takes form, lived, practiced, and passed on.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Kat Weaver is the Interim Executive Vice President and Provost and a Professor of Biology. Please welcome her.
Thank you. 3 pillars articulate the promise and purpose of an LMU education: the encouragement of learning, the education of the whole person, and the service of faith and promotion of justice. On the occasion of the inauguration of Dr. Thomas Poon as the next president of LMU, the event that brings us together today, I want to focus for a moment on the heart of the university's enterprise, our academic mission, the encouragement of learning. LMU remains steadfastly committed to a liberal arts education in the Catholic intellectual tradition, which compels us to an unceasing examination of ourselves and our world in pursuit of knowledge, truth, beauty, with an appreciation for both the empirical world and those truths that remain stubbornly beyond its reach. Towards this end, all LMU students develop insights in and through the sciences, the social sciences, the arts, humanities, and professional disciplines, including philosophy and theology. We take this approach because, again, in the Catholic intellectual tradition, we know that knowledge is produced and shared, not first because it has profitable utility, but because knowledge, truth, and beauty are their own good, beyond the value any markets today may assign to them. We do not know what scientific discoveries, humanistic inquiries, or artistic productions will be the ones to reshape the world, and it would be presumptuous to guess. Limiting our investigations or what students learn to just what can immediately turn value is contrary to who we are. The university exists as a place to kindle flames that would die in the wind outside our walls. That LMU can be such a place is thanks to generations of faculty. It is capacity that arrives to our hands as a gift to be protected, developed, and shared. President Poon, we know that yours are good hands to hold this treasure. As an academic, an accomplished researcher, and skilled educator who has already done much as an academic leader to create conditions in which our faculty can flourish as teacher scholars, President Poon is the leader LMU needs as we step into the next chapter of our history. As provost, Dr. Poon saw many advances in the academic excellence of our university, including new academic programs, expanded faculty research, and a deepened commitment to a collective commitment to inclusive excellence, as well as many developments, small and large, that support the excellence and success of teacher scholars, our faculty, who make the university what it is. President Poon, we academic administrators and faculty stand with you to contribute our gifts to your presidency, our expertise in foundational research, scholarship, and artistic production, our student-centered approach to teaching, and our dedication to producing LMU graduates who are lifelong learners capable of discerning the more universal good, motivated to act for justice, and dedicated to living courageously with and for others. Thank you.
When the LMU Board of Trustees initiated the search for our 17th president, we looked for someone whose life and leadership would embody the deepest commitments of Loyola Marymount University: academic excellence, a faith that seeks justice, care for the whole person, and a steadfast dedication to our students. In Thomas Poon, we found precisely that leader. Tom is not only a distinguished scholar, a tenured professor of chemistry, but also a maker, inventor, and innovator. His research and teaching trace back decades, and under his stewardship, LMU has advanced dramatically in scholarly distinction and institutional achievement. He brings to this role a rare blend of intellectual depth, creative problem solving, strategic vision, and genuine warmth. He listens with humility, asks the right questions, and makes decisions with clarity and courage. What most impressed us and led the Board of Trustees to unanimously elect him is the way he sees and cherishes the soul of this great university. Our people, our promise, and the values that bind us. He believes profoundly in the transformative power of education. President Poon offers to LMU what every great institution needs at this moment in history: character, clarity, and innovation, and hope. With Tom's leadership, we are confident that the story of Loyola Marymount University will continue to unfold with greater purpose, generosity, and hope. Here becomes more than an aspiration. It becomes our lived promise.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Reverend Society of Jesus, Benjamin Jesuits West Conference, Sister Mary Janino of the Religious of the Sacred Heart of Mary, Area Leader, Western American Area, Religious Sacred Heart of Mary, and Sister Mary Beth Ingram of the Sisters of St. Joseph of Orange, General Superior, Sisters St. Joseph of Orange, delivering the commissioning of the Director of Work at Loyola Marymount University.
At our last General Congregation, the highest governing body of the Society of Jesus declared solemnly that an Ignatian work can be said to be Jesuit when it has a clear and definitive relationship with the Society of Jesus, and when its mission aligns with that of the Society by a commitment to a faith that does justice through interreligious dialogue and a creative engagement with culture.
From its beginnings, the Religious of the Sacred Heart of Mary were oriented toward educating and empowering women and children and those on the margins, thereby transforming their lives and opening possibilities for their future. This movement towards what is most enlivening is reflected in the RSHM charism that seeks to know and love God so that all may have life to the full.
The mission of this sponsored work requires ongoing dialogue and accountability among university leadership. And Sisters of St. Joseph of Orange. In terms of mission, leadership, leadership through a process of authority.
The CA community has continually been an active force, hearts together, serving others. This ethos has permeated the university. It has provided LMU a model of how to proceed in all its endeavors. That is, always prioritizing relationships, bridge building, collaboration, and partnership with a focus on the common good. And so, Dr. Poon, will you now please stand and take your place in the midst of this assembly of the LMU community?
We stand on the shoulders of those who came before us, those who seeded this treasured ministry with the founding of Loyola University in 1911 and Marymount College in 1932. These two institutions came together in 1968 and formally merged in 1973. President Poon, after rigorous discussion and due diligence, the trustees have asked that the Religious of the Sacred Heart of Mary, Sisters of St. Joseph of Orange, and the Society of Jesus mission you to be president of this university. We ask whether you are willing to accept this mission.
I am.
Will you shape your decisions in accordance with the mission of the 3 sponsoring congregations? This is expressed in a commitment to a faith that does justice, lived through interreligious dialogue, and creative engagement with culture, responding to the needs of the times.
I shall.
Will you participate actively in the Association of Jesuit Colleges and Universities?
I shall.
Will you regularly enter into dialogue with the sponsoring congregations through their appointed superior or delegates concerning those matters which touch directly upon your Catholic Jesuit Marymount mission?
It would be my pleasure.
And will you engage the religious and those on your campus who demonstrate a living example of a commitment to the Jesuit and Marymount mission in the shared sponsored ministry of higher education?
I shall.
Will you foster within the university community its Catholic, Jesuit, and Marymount mission through a pattern of leadership modeled after Christ, who came to serve and not to be served?
Absolutely.
With great gratitude to God for the gift of your leadership of this great institution of higher learning, and in recognition of the extraordinary gem that LMU is for the church and our religious congregation sponsors, we mission you to serve as president.
Tom, we promise to support you in your work, collaborate with you in fostering the mission we share, and through prayer, witness, and service, foster the work of this wonderful university.
And we pray, may the gracious love and wisdom of our God, displayed so fully in the life and ministry of the Lord Jesus, be your constant support and beacon throughout the days of all your ministry. Amen.
Friends, academic regalia has its earliest roots in the 14th century, identifying scholars as members of a learned community. President Poon entered today wearing the doctoral regalia of UCLA, where he earned his Ph.D., symbolizing the scholarly foundation of his vocation. LMU's presidential gown features 4 gray chevrons and front panels with blue piping, reflecting the dignity and responsibility of this office and connecting our past to our future, placing the incumbent within the lineage of those who have served the university. Today, he is formally vested in LMU's colors, tradition, and mission as its 17th president.
On behalf of the Board of Trustees of Loyola Marymount University and under the Charter of the State of California, I hereby install you in the office of President of Loyola Marymount University. As Chair of the Board of Trustees, I entrust you with the responsibility of advancing the university's founding purpose in its highest ideals of academic excellence, ethical leadership, and service to faith and justice. I also charge you with articulating, sustaining, and strengthening the distinctive character, culture, and heritage of LMU, ensuring that our Jesuit and Marymount traditions continue to inspire lives of meaning, purpose, and hope. All powers and responsibilities vested in the President through the bylaws and statutes of Loyola Marymount University are now entrusted to you, Tom, to exercise faithfully, wisely, and with steadfast devotion to the people and mission of this great university. You hold in your hands the charter of the university, symbolizing LMU's place among institutions of higher learning and signifying the trust we place in your leadership.
Interfaith leaders from our community will now together offer a blessing for Loyola Marymount University and for its 17th president, Thomas Poon.
It is now my distinct honor and privilege to present to you the 17th President of LMU, Dr. Thomas Poon.
I'm just taking it in. Thank you, Trustee and Board Chair Paul Viviano. Good afternoon. Picture a man in his late 30s at a dining table. His heart is racing To say he is nervous is like saying Taylor Swift has a few fans. Across from him sits his interview panel, possibly enjoying his discomfort. Each panelist stands no taller than 5 feet, yet somehow they tower over him. He stumbles through small talk, searching for courage, and finally blurts out the question that reveals the true purpose of his visit. Success. My future in-laws give me their blessing to ask for their daughter's hand in marriage. They even say thank you. As consequential as my question was to them, and of course, to my future wife, their question back to me was equally pivotal. It was 8 fateful words that still echo in my heart. They asked, Tom, have you ever thought of becoming Catholic? That invitation and my very quick yes set me on a trajectory that would ultimately lead to Loyola Marymount University. Here, the charisms of our founding religious orders, the Congregation of St. Joseph of Orange, the Religious of the Sacred Heart of Mary, and the Society of Jesus, guide us to seek God in all things, to make God known and loved so that all may have life, and to be mindful of the diverse and unmet needs of the dear neighbor. It is this enduring union of 3 religious orders and our steadfast commitment to their legacies that make LMU truly distinct among Catholic universities. And what began as an invitation to faith is now a legacy I have the privilege and responsibility to uphold. A legacy sustained by faculty who believe that research and education transform lives, by students who learn for themselves and for the world they will change, and by alumni who advance our mission across continents and cultures. A legacy built by those who dream boldly and served selflessly, like LMU's emeriti presidents here today, Father Robert Lawton of the Society of Jesus, David Burcham, and Timothy Law Snyder. Please join me in thanking them for their visionary leadership and enduring influence. Every legacy lives in tension with the moment it enters. And today, that moment is one of profound uncertainty. Across the nation, colleges and universities are navigating demographic shifts, technological transformation, political polarization, and questions about the value of a college degree. The world around us is changing at a breathtaking pace, and yet the need for institutions like ours has never been greater. Honoring our legacy begins with hope. Hope isn't passive. It is, as the Jesuits say, contemplatives in action. Hope rolls up its sleeves and asks, what's the work we need to do to make things happen? So in that vein, I'd like to share my 3 hopes for LMU. Hopes that meet the challenges of the moment, turn someday into let's begin, and remind us that our best chapters are still being written. I first hope that LMU will expand access and open doors. We must make an LMU education attainable for every talented student called to our mission. And once they're here, ensure that they have every opportunity to thrive. This opportunity is woven into how we teach, learn, and live our mission. It's embodied in our teacher-scholar model, which integrates rigorous research with the personal, transformative work of teaching and mentoring. Few universities can do what LMU does. At some institutions, research often eclipses teaching. At others, heavy teaching loads limit scholarship. But LMU stands in the sweet spot, where research deepens teaching and teaching inspires research. Our faculty pursue bold ideas, publish internationally recognized work, and still know their students by name. Names like Max Isi, who came to LMU from Uruguay with big dreams and a modest budget. A donor scholarship and faculty mentors like Professor of Physics Jonas Marika open doors to research, to discovery, to a vocation. Max was a double major in physics and mathematics and did undergraduate research all 4 years at LMU. Today, Max is an assistant professor of astronomy at Columbia University. In 2021, Max led the team that detected gravitational waves produced by the collision of 2 black holes, confirming some of Einstein's and Stephen Hawking's theories. I could really geek out right now about singularities, event horizons, and the movie Interstellar. But let me just summarize. One donor scholarship was the key. LMU faculty opened the door, and an LMU student turned alum blew the door off its hinges with his scientific breakthrough. Max shared with me that he widely credits his success to LMU, including the formation he received outside the laboratory. Max also minored in Asian Pacific Studies. Yeah. Studied abroad in the UK, was in the honors program, published in its journal Attic Salt, took German and history classes for fun, and was inducted into Alpha Sigma Nu, the International Jesuit Honor Society. Max is hope made here. That hope is made accessible through philanthropy and scholarships. The Kilroy Foundation scholarship Max received has provided 20 students from Argentina and Uruguay the opportunity to study here at LMU. We have nearly, yes, thank you to the Kilroy Foundation. We have nearly 550 four-year donor-funded scholarships. And those scholarship recipients graduate at a rate 7% higher than that of our general student population and 21% higher than the national average. As president, I will work tirelessly to strengthen the foundation that makes stories like Max's possible, to expand access and open doors for deserving students, to invest in our teacher scholars, and to deepen the formation of students who transform promise into purpose. My second hope, that LMU will build bridges between our campuses and our communities. LMU is a nexus, a hub where different paths converge. I've already mentioned 3 of those convergences, the charisms of our 3 sponsoring religious orders which ground us in our mission. This nexus is amplified by where we live, teach, and serve. In Los Angeles, the creative capital of the world, imagination is currency, innovation is habit, and storytelling shapes the human experience. We share our backyard with sectors that define the future: aerospace, international trade, entertainment, professional sports, law, public service, sustainability, healthcare, biotech, and the Silicon Beach corridor, home to AI, gaming, entrepreneurship, and the LMU Playa Vista campus. We are a Catholic university in the largest archdiocese in the nation, rooted in a city where faith meets diversity on a scale that mirrors the global church itself. Los Angeles is the epicenter of what many call the Pacific Century, an era shaped by the interplay of cultures, languages, religions, creativity, and ideas that define the region. And just down the road, one of the world's busiest airports connects us to nearly every major city on the planet. These are the connections that converge at LMU. each one shaping who we are, where we are, and how we serve. And because I believe education is the ultimate sector that will define the future, LMU will serve to bridge and integrate these worlds. We will do so by animating our mission, partnering outward for maximum impact to serve both our students and our communities. Our partnership with the Los Angeles Rams is a shining example of how LMU has created opportunities for our students to learn, lead, and contribute inside one of the most innovative organizations in professional sports. Since 2023, more than 1,300 LMU students across all our schools and colleges have had firsthand experiences through class lectures, nearly 200 internships and mentorships, and immersion days in areas like marketing, sports medicine, communications, data analytics, design, and community relations. Thanks to the Rams, that's 1,300 LMU students who didn't just watch excellence from the stands, they became a part of it. We will harness our location as our advantage, leveraging our proximity to creativity, commerce, and culture to offer our students experiences only LMU can provide: internships, collaborations, and learning environments that connect our Jesuit and Marymount mission to the pulse of Los Angeles and beyond. We are blessed with partners, including civic leaders, corporations, and nonprofits who believe in our mission and who collaborate with us to yield campus engagements like Rams Training Camp, the annual LMU Innovation Symposium, the Social Impact Filmmaking Lab, and the LA Area Chamber Business and Education Innovation Summit. I am excited to share a new partnership that we are launching. Thanks to LMU faculty, admin leaders, and to Father Steve Katsuros, a member of our Jesuit community, founder of Arupe College in Chicago, and president of the nonprofit Come to Believe, LMU will partner with Homeboy Industries to launch a credit-bearing certificate program in two initial areas: business management and social services. Fields that LMU alum and Presidential Medal of Freedom awardee Father Greg Boyle and his remarkable team at Homeboy have identified as vital to the transformation and healing of their community. These programs will create pathways to higher education for those who have been historically excluded, combining academic formation with the holistic support that Homeboy has modeled for decades. This partnership affirms the God-given potential in every person and embodies what Father Greg so often reminds us, that no one stands outside the circle of compassion. And today, I'm honored to announce one more example of this vision coming to life. LMU will serve as the official high-performance center for Team USA at the 2028 Olympic and Paralympic Games. At the High Performance Center, USA athletes will be able to access resources they can't get in the Olympic Village, to train with their personal coaches, and receive medical, recovery, mental health, and nutritional services right here on the LMU campus, demonstrating once again that excellence is rooted in community and that hope made here belongs on the global stage. My third hope, that LMU will form leaders through Ignatian excellence. Ignatian excellence may not be familiar to everyone here today, but it captures something at the very heart of who we are and who I hope we continue to become. It begins with a man named Inigo Lopez de Loyola, who lived in Spain 5 centuries ago. Inigo was a soldier until a cannonball shattered his leg and in many ways his worldview. During his long recovery, he began reading about the lives of Christ and the saints. And as he read, he discovered that the greatest victories are not won on the battlefield, but within the human heart. That wounded soldier became Saint Ignatius of Loyola, founder of the Society of Jesus, also known as the Jesuits, whose gifts of spiritual insight would reshape education and leadership worldwide. Out of his own conversion came a new way of seeing God in all things, a new way of discerning purpose, and a new way of forming leaders, one that unites intellect with reflection and hope with action. Those gifts, Ignatian pedagogy, Ignatian spirituality, and Ignatian discernment, have shaped my own life and leadership. They were given to me through my Catholic education, through my conversion to the faith, through my formation here at LMU in the Ignatian Colleagues Program. Yeah, cohort 17, I know you're out there. In the spiritual exercises guided by my dear friend, Father Randy Roche. Thank you, Randy. In my service on the board of the Beijing Center for Chinese Studies, and through my accompaniment with provosts and presidents across our Jesuit network. When I say Ignatian excellence, I'm referring to an excellence that demands both rigor and reflection, that measures success through alignment with conscience and service, and that seeks God in all things, even in the complexities of modern life. A wonderful example of this is Alma Backyard Farms, located in Compton and San Pedro, and co-founded by two LMU grads, Erica Cuellar and Richard Garcia. Yeah, wait till you hear what I have to say about them. Erica double majored in education and Spanish and spent many hours on LMU service trips and other volunteer initiatives. Richard earned a master's in pastoral theology, where he honed his interest in prison ministry and restorative justice. Erica and Richard founded Alma Backyard Farms to address food drought in those communities and to assist formerly incarcerated people in reintegrating into society with hands-on technical education in urban agriculture, carpentry, and landscaping. They frequently host faculty and staff formation days, and they sponsor service opportunities for LMU students through our Pam Rector Center for Service and Action. Yeah. I've heard many LMU students talk about their impactful experiences at Alma, where they contribute firsthand to restorative justice, environmental stewardship, and community engagement efforts right here in LA. My hope is that every member of our LMU community will receive these same gifts that formed Erica and Richard. And I know that Erica and Richard are here today. Let's please show these LMU Lions our thanks and appreciation. These gifts of Ignatian pedagogy, spirituality, and discernment are also made tangible through the Binational Migrant Advocacy Project at LMU Loyola Law School, under the direction of Marissa Montes, Associate Clinical Professor and Director of the Loyola Immigrant Justice Clinic. In partnership with ITESO, the Jesuit University of Guadalajara, this groundbreaking initiative unites U.S. and Mexican law students to expand legal resources for migrants on both sides of the border. In work like this, Ignatian excellence forms whole persons for and with others who place their learning at the service of justice. And if you'll indulge me with one more example, I recently congratulated Professors Jason Bear and Daniel Speak. Yeah, he's got some fans. They received approximately $1 million from the Lilly Endowment to cultivate the virtues of curiosity, open-mindedness, intellectual humility, intellectual courage, and intellectual perseverance in our students. Through this grant, the multi-year project provides faculty with workshops and resources to develop Ignatian-inspired courses that emphasize these characteristics and intellectual character formation in our students. I'm thrilled to share that today we launch our Mission Priority Examen, a year-long process of gratitude, reflection, and discernment in partnership with the Society of Jesus. This university-wide effort will be co-chaired by Senior Vice President for Mission, John Sebastian, and our Marymount Institute Director and Associate Professor of History, Dr. Elizabeth Drummond, whom I also thank for today's invocation. Our MPE opportunity and my previous examples are, to me, Ignatian excellence in action, and they give me hope that our students will be formed to lead with conscience, courage, and compassion. So these three hopes: expanding access and opening doors, building bridges between our campus and our communities, and forming leaders through Ignatian excellence, are not separate ambitions. They are a single, integrated vision, and I truly believe if we pursue these hopes with courage and conviction, there is no limit to what Loyola Marymount University can become. So standing here today, I am overcome by gratitude for the students, faculty, staff, trustees, regents, and alumni who love this university with every fiber of their being. You are what gives me hope that the challenges facing our world are indeed surmountable. I am equally grateful to our benefactors and philanthropic partners whose generosity makes this hope tangible through scholarships, programs, spaces, and professorships. Your belief in LMU opens doors for our students and allows our mission to flourish. Many thanks to the Inauguration Committee and everyone who worked so hard to bring this celebration to life. Yeah, they deserve a huge round of applause. Oh, and there they are. Your creativity, attention to detail, and care for our guests and our university have made this past week one that I will never, ever forget. I am also incredibly grateful to the delegates from institutions near and far for joining us today. I especially thank my fellow presidents from our Jesuit sibling institutions, Presidents Salvador Aceves, Kimo Ayun, Father Scott Hendrickson, Katia Passerini, and Mark Nemick from my alma mater, Fairfield University. Yeah, thank you for coming. To the delegates from the West Coast Conference universities who are here today, thank you for your shared commitment to our student athletes, both in competition and in our classrooms. We are proud to be your partner, and of course, we fully intend to defeat you as often as possible. LMU, you know what to say on 3. 1, 2, 3. Go Lions! Had to get that one in. I offer a special shout out to President Ann McElhaney Johnson of Mount St. Mary's University. As the only 2 Catholic universities in Los Angeles and neighboring counties, our future partnership will assure that Catholic higher education remains a force for good in our region. Yeah. I owe a special debt of thanks to the people who had a hand in my formation as a teacher and scholar. Thank you to my scientific collaborators and co-authors who are here today. Dr. Tracy McGill from Emory University, Dr. Oyan Poon, and Professor Katie Purvis-Roberts. And thank you to my scientific mentors, Christopher Foote, Bradford Mundy, and Nicholas Turrow, who are no longer with us, but whose groundbreaking research was only surpassed by the extraordinary measure of their humanity. Thank you to my friends and science colleagues from the Claremont colleges here today. Kersey, Emily, Mary, Gretchen, Shauna, Carl, Jennifer, you embody what it means to be true teacher scholars, and I am better for having worked alongside you. Thank you to LMU's cabinet members, deans, and senior leaders. You are an amazing team I wouldn't trade for anything. You inspire me and make me want to work harder every day. Thank you to my colleagues across our schools and colleges, with a special shout out to the College of Business Administration as you celebrate your 100th anniversary. Thank you to our representatives in state and local government. As a university that traces its roots back to St. Vincent College, as you heard, the first higher ed education institution in Los Angeles in 1865, we have a solemn responsibility to serve this great city. Thank you, Mayor Karen Bass, and thank you to our LMU alumni, State Senator Lena Gonzalez, Council Member Tracy Park, and LA Area Chamber President Maria Salinas for your leadership. Thank you, Tony Coelho, LMU alum, former 6-term U.S. Congressman, and primary author of the Americans with Disabilities Act, for sharing your amazing LMU journey with us, and most importantly, for your friendship. And thank you, Archbishop Gomez, Father Sean Carroll, Father Eddie Siebert, Sister Mary Janino, and Sister Mary Beth Ingham. Please consider me part of your flock, ready to serve when called, and to be the salt and light that Archbishop Gomez so eloquently professed in his homily. Finally, I thank my family for a lifetime of encouragement and support. First and foremost, to Jack and Tina Poon, my mom and dad who are here today. They made the brave move to immigrate to the US in 1969. Somehow they understood the power of Catholic education and put my brother and me through Catholic schools, working long hours in the restaurant business for more than 20 years so their sons wouldn't have to. If you've seen the show The Bear, it was like 10 times harder than that. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for your courage, your love, and every sacrifice that brought me here. To my late father-in-law, John Irwin, and to my mother-in-law, Angeles Irwin, thank you for saying yes and for inviting me to share in your faith tradition. Many thanks as well to Shelley, Jill, Jennifer, and Mike, my sisters and brother from another mother. Yeah, my in-laws. I'm honored to be part of your family. I'm also honored that so many of my cousins and my Uncle Paul are here today. To Alex, my brother from the same mother, thank you for being my best friend and for not sharing any embarrassing moments about me in my biography video. There are lots. Thank you to my wife, Kathy, and my daughter, Sophie. Spoon, your art, your music, your humor are peak awesome, as your generation might say. Dr. Kathy Irwin, you are truly an inspiration. When the Jesuits talk about seeing God in all things, I think of you and the way your book on orphans incarcerated during World War II allowed generations of Japanese Americans to know their ancestors. I think of your 19 years as a teacher scholar at the University of Laverne, where you are now an emerita professor. And I think of how you are the rock for our family, including to our dog Calypso, whom you trained to see you as the alpha and me as the omega. I see God working in you every day. Thank you for being my soulmate and for your love that sustains me. There are so many more I could thank, but my staff told me I only get one inauguration and not a 2-day festival. So let me close by saying that LMU's next chapter is not for any one leader to write alone. I ask each of you to claim a share of that work, boldly, generously, and with the confidence that our moment demands. Because this next chapter will be written by all of us. Each of you holds the pen. Each of you is part of the story. And together we will write the next chapter of Loyola Marymount University, one filled with purpose, possibility, and hope made here. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless Loyola Marymount University.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and join in the singing of the Loyola Marymount University alma mater. Hail the Crimson and Blue, led by Elisa Paulino from the class of 2028.
Thank you, President Poon. Your words remind us that hope made here is not simply a theme, it is indeed a calling to accompany one another, to serve our city, and to build a future rooted in faith, justice, and love. It is now my privilege to introduce someone who embodies that hope in his ministry and his storytelling. The Reverend Eddie Siebert, Society of Jesus, serves as the LMU trustee, rector of the Jesuit community, senior lecturer in the School of Film and Television, and chaplain for the Student Worker Program. Beyond the Bluff, Father Siebert is the founder and president of Loyola Productions, a Los Angeles-based company known for stories that inform, inspire, and entertain. He is the executive producer of the hit film The Pope's Exorcist, and his work ranges from chronicling Pope Francis to telling the story of the Jesus martyr of El Salvador. Please join me in welcoming Father Eddie Siebert.
Thank you, Paul. I'm here to offer the benediction to close out our beautiful celebration today. So, dear friends, as we gather to inaugurate Thomas Poon as the 17th president of Loyola Marymount University, we turn our hearts to the Lord, the giver of wisdom and the source of every vocation to service. Let us pray. Lord our God, in your wisdom and love, you surround us with the mysteries of the universe. In time long past, you sent us, your prophets, to teach you laws and to bear witness to your undying love. You sent us your Son to teach us by word and example that true wisdom comes from you alone. Send your Holy Spirit upon Dr. Thomas Poon. Grant him clarity of mind, generosity of heart, and steadfast courage in every responsibility he now assumes. Strengthen him with a love for justice, a passion for academic excellence, and a deep reverence for the dignity of every person. May every decision he makes be guided by your wisdom and rooted in the love of Jesus Christ, so that this university may flourish in truth and goodness. Bless this university he will lead, its students, faculty, staff, benefactors, and alumni, that together they may form a community of faith and inquiry, alive with imagination, mercy, and a tireless dedication to the service of others. May they be faithful in seeking God in all things and advancing learning that helps shape a more just and compassionate world. Bless him, Lord, and bless all gathered here, that we may support him with prayer, cooperation, and hope, and work together for the flourishing of Loyola Marymount University in the years to come. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Thank you.
As we bring this historic inauguration installation to a close, I want to extend my deepest gratitude to all who have made this day and the entire season of celebration possible. To our delegates, distinguished guests, alumni, parents, benefactors, neighbors, and friends, thank you for honoring LMU with your presence and for the many ways you strengthen our mission. To our faculty, staff, and students, your spirit, your dedication, your generosity animate everything we do. We also offer heartfelt thanks to the countless volunteers, campus partners, and professional staff whose tireless efforts have guided every detail of this inauguration season with excellence, creativity, and care. I wish to express particular appreciation to the Presidential Inauguration Committee, led with vision and extraordinary commitment by John Caralla and supported by leaders across the university. Your work has been a gift to LMU, and this moment stands as a testament to your devotion to our community. To President Poon, thank you for your inspiring words today and for the wisdom, courage, and hope you will continue to offer in the years ahead. We are proud to stand with you as you lead LMU into its next chapter. Following the recessional and the formal conclusion of our ceremony, I invite all of you to join us for the Spirit of the Season reception on Alumni Mall, a time for fellowship, celebration, and community as we mark this joyful beginning together. This concludes the installation ceremony of Loyola Marymount University's 17th president. On behalf of Loyola Marymount University, thank you for your presence, your partnership, and your well wishes for our shared futures. Hope made here and carried forward by all of us. Thank you for joining us today.